This is one of our Sunday morning yoga practices, a gentle yoga flow. So that means, what flow means is that you're going to be constantly moving. Part of the class will be in a seated position and part of it will be in a standing position. But the whole time we're going to keep the moving, flowing and flowing along. So the result of this is that you'll probably feel your body temperature start to rise. You might even sweat, depending on how warm the ambient temperature is in the room that you're in. And one of the benefits of doing this type of practice is that it does get your circulation moving. It does start to stimulate your muscle groups and help your body to warm them up so that you can stretch further and move farther and do more. So I hope you enjoy this practice. Now keep in mind, it will be gentle. This is not a vinyasa class. We're not going for serious sweating or anything like that. So enjoy yoga flow, gentle yoga flow. And let's come into our easy pose. So because this is going to be a flow class and it's going to be a gentle flow, we're going to spend part of the time seated and part of the time standing. So if you have blocks, take your block and put it toward the end of the mat that you normally stand at, just so that it's there and handy for you for when we do get to that point that you might need it. And I notice I still have weights in the way. Get those out of the way. So easy pose again. Easy pose can look like this. Easy pose can look like this. Easy pose can look a little more relaxed like this if your legs are able to do it. Or easy pose can look more like me. Took me almost 10 years to get here. So if you're not there yet, don't worry, you will get there. We're going to sit up nice and straight. Just tighten up your abdominals just a little bit, just to help supporting your back. And close your eyes if you like, or just let your vision become very soft. And let your shoulders relax. Keep your chin level to the floor. And just start to settle into your body. Push away anything you might have been focusing on or thinking about or worrying about. Just push that away and tell yourself, I'll think about that later. Instead, focus on you. Focus on your breath. Feel yourself breathing. Noticing as you breathe, the air going in and out. And if you're able to, focus on breathing in and out through your nose. Now, if you can't for any reason, you've got some condition that's obstructing your nose, then just part your lips slightly and breathe in and out through the mouth. But if you can, even if it's in the inhalation only, inhale and exhale through the nose. We're going to start to focus more on the breath itself. So we're going to inhale and push our belly out. Start to push the belly out as you take that inhale. And as you exhale, push your belly in and push it up a little bit, pushing against the diaphragm and pushing all the air out. Inhale into the belly. Exhale through the nose, pushing it back out again. Breathe a few more breaths, nice and deep and slow. Slow that breath down. Try to hold it just a little bit, just as before you inhale and just a little bit before you exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. Let your hands come down to your sides. We're going to start to focus on breathing and moving at the same time. So let's inhale the arms up, nice and slow. And then as we exhale, drop them back down toward the earth. Inhale up, reaching up. Exhale, dropping the hands back down again. Inhale up. Let's look up this time. Looking up toward the ceiling, lifting our chin up. And as we exhale, dropping your chin into your chest as your arms come down. Inhale up, look up. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale up, reach up, and this time on your exhale, you're going to drop your right hand down and you're going to take a side bend over to the right. This big, long stretch. Now make sure you're pushing your left bottom cheek in so that you get a good stretch right from your hip up through your rib cage. Inhale up, reach up. Exhale, drop your left hand down. Take a side stretch to the left. Inhale back up again. And this time on the exhale, we're going to take the twist. So we're going to take our right hand, we're going to bring it behind us. We're going to take our left hand toward our lap, dropping it down onto our right lap. And we're going to push that right shoulder back, but we're going to try to keep the belly more forward. We're not going to turn our whole hip structure. And we're just going to gently push against that right shoulder. Try to straighten up, lengthen up through the spine. And then if you can, turn your chin toward that shoulder, coming into a nice seated twist. We're going to take another inhale, and we're going to lengthen up just a little bit in the ribs and push back just a little micro movement more. And slowly, slowly come back to center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, this time we're going to twist to the left. So drop the left hand behind. Right hand comes down to your left lap, and we're just going to gently push that left shoulder back. And again, if your chin allows, turn your chin that direction. I guess really it's your neck, if your neck allows you to do that. Lengthen up a little bit and just gently apply just a little tiny bit more pressure just to see if you can take that twist just a tiny bit deeper. Come back to center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bow to the earth. So bring your belly down, bring your chest down. Keep your head up a little bit though. Don't let the head fool you by trying to come down to the floor first. Reach for the floor when you have to. Walk your hands out farther away from you as you come down. Press your belly down in toward your legs, in toward the mat. Come down as deeply as your body allows you. So even if you're way up here or out here, you're still coming down in between the legs. Still coming down. Just going to look a little different than I do. Once you're as far as you can stretch out, we're just going to slowly walk our hands just a little more over toward the right until we feel a nice stretch coming right from the hip here up this area, just around the area between our hip and our rib cage. You're going to feel that stretch, and you're just going to take it till you feel it. Once you feel it, keep pressing that left bum cheek into the floor. And then very, very slowly, you're going to move your hands over as far as you can take it to the left, looking for that same stretchy feeling. Keep pushing now your right bottom cheek into the floor. And for some of you, you may not have to move very far to get that sensation, and that's all you're going for is that stretch feeling. So come back to center, stretch out your arms, take another inhale, see if you can push your belly down just a little closer, and then tuck your chin into your chest. Inhale. As you push up, coming upright again, make sure you use your hands to come up. Inhale. Reaching up. Exhale. We're going to bring the hands behind us. Touch your fingertips down onto your mat or on your cushion you might be sitting on, or your knuckles. You can press your knuckles down if you can get down to your knuckles. We're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together. Nice big squeeze here. Push into the floor as you lift your rib cage up. So push down, lift your rib cage up, inhale. And on your exhale, just relax your head back, lift your chin up, and take 3 deep breaths here. Full breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Same thing, still pushing your belly out a bit as you breathe in. And pushing it back as you breathe out. One more breath if you haven't taken 3 already. Exhale. Come back upright. Inhale the arms up, palms together, coming down into prayer pose. To namaste. Keep pressing those palms together, even if they're not making contact. Keep pushing them in the direction of each other. Just sit for a second. Excuse me, I just have to blow my nose. We're going to switch our legs now. So I want you to reach down and I want you to rearrange your legs so that if you were out like this, you're going to switch them around. And if you were like this, you're going to switch them around. And if you were like me, you're going to switch them around so that the opposite leg now is in front. Take a deep breath in, reaching up. Exhale down. Inhale up, look up. Exhale, chin to chest, dropping the hands down. Inhale up, and this time on your exhale, we're going to take that side bend to the right. So we're dropping the right hand down, pushing our hand or fingers down into the mat, pushing our left bottom cheek into the floor, and we're going to take a nice long stretch here. Inhale, coming back up again. Exhale, side bend to the left. Nice big stretch. Make sure you're pressing that right bottom cheek now into the floor. Inhale, come back up. And on your exhale, we're going to do the seated twist, twisting to the right first, dropping the right hand behind, staying up nice and straight in the rib cage area and in the back. And gently, gently, gently pushing that right shoulder back a little further, a little further. Take another breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, push it back just a tiny bit more. Slowly come back to center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Let's twist to the left now. Pushing your left shoulder back. And your chin looks that way too. Lengthening up, and then just on the last inhale, push back just a little bit more as you exhale. Come back to center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow to the earth. Again, walking the hands out, pushing the belly down. Focus on that. Focus on anything else, but just push your belly down. Keeping it coming down lower and lower. See if you can stretch your arms out just a tiny bit further till you feel that nice stretching coming right up from the shoulders, down your back, down your shoulder blades. And once again, we're just going to walk our fingers over toward the right till we get that stretch happening. Keep pressing your left bottom cheek flat down. If you let it lift up, it's going to take the stretch away. And then very, very slowly moving the hands as far as you can go, this time to the left. Keep pushing now your right bottom cheek into the floor. And come back to center, stretch your arms out. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, push your belly down just a little deeper. See if you can get closer to the floor. And then tuck your chin, bringing your forehead down toward your mat. Walk your hands back towards your body, pushing you upright. Inhale, nice big reach up, reaching up for the ceiling. Exhale, hands behind you. This time we're going to try to bring our hands and clasp them together. So if you can't quite get the hands together, you're just going to use your mat, or you're going to use your cushion you're sitting on, and you're just going to walk the fingers in the direction of each other until you can't get any closer, and just stay in that part. But if you can squeeze your shoulder blades and get your fingers at least touching, that's great. If you can get closer to a hand clasp where you've got your palms pressed together, try going for that if you can do it. If you can't, don't worry. As long as you're intending toward that, you're doing it. So let's then lift up our hands just a little bit off the floor. So if you're just working on getting the shoulder blades in toward each other, just keep trying to inch those hands just teensy bit closer as we do this, instead of lifting them up. For those of you that have their hands clasped or fingers touching, you're going to lift up just enough off the floor that you can feel your shoulders starting to work and twist a bit. We're going to inhale, lifting up the rib cage. Exhale, relax your head back and take 3 breaths. 1, 2, and the last breath. And then release everything. Relax your hands down by your side. Inhale your arms up. Bring your hands as close as you can get together, or bring your palms together, and then start to press down into prayer pose or namaste. And just sit quietly for just a second. You can close your eyes here for a moment and just feel the sensations in your body. We're going to flip over onto our hands and knees. You might want to just shake your legs out from all of that sitting. Your muscles get a little bit of a wake up. And we're going to just do a few cat-cows just to get our low back warmed up. So knees are slightly apart. At least you should be able to put your fists between them. Hands under your shoulders, fingers spread out nice and wide. Your toes can be tucked or flattened out. We're going to inhale and focus on the tailbone. So we're lifting the tailbone up, lifting the chin up as we inhale. On our exhale, we're going to tuck our chin, tuck our tailbone, arch our back, push all the air out. Cat. Inhale to cow. Nice and slow. Exhale to cat, equally as slow. Inhale to cow. Take your time, really focus on the lift. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Inhale one more time, nice big inhale. Really lift that tailbone, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, push all your air out, keep pushing it out, keep pushing it out, keep pushing it out. And then inhale as you push back into child pose. So we're going to widen up our knees for this child pose, coming into wide leg child pose. Push back your bum as far as you can get it. Once you can't push back anymore, you're going to start to push your belly down between your legs toward the floor. Dropping your belly and your chest. And then at the end, your head. So even if your bum is way up in the air, and this is as far back as you can push, now you start to drop the belly and you start to drop the chest and then the head. Don't sacrifice getting your head on the floor by lifting your bum up higher. Instead, try to stay in your spot. And if you need to, if you can't get the head to touch the floor without lifting up more, then use something like your hands or your block to just become the floor. Take another deep breath here. And then very slowly come up to tabletop or for all fours. And we're going to come into the downward facing dog. So I want you to really think about your positioning when you come into down dog. try to get your hands so that your armpits feel like they're opening up to the side, as opposed to having the hands like this. And I'm going to be doing a video very soon on proper positioning for down dog. So I've seen people doing this. So what happens with this is that you're spread out your shoulder blades, and now your shoulder blades can't really take the lift that you're expecting your body to do when you press into the floor. So instead, when we rotate our hands toward each other a little bit and spread the fingers out, that's very important. We open up the armpits toward the side, but we flatten the shoulder blades down on our back. And now the muscles are there ready to support you to go up into down dog. So get yourself set up, tuck your toes, lift your hips up as high as you can, and then start to push back against those hands, dropping your head down between the arms. And you can keep your knees bent as much as you like, or you can straighten them out, doesn't matter. Having your heels hit the floor is not required. So just stretch out here. It should be a nice long stretch. You should not have your hands and your feet really close together. Let's look toward our hands. Walk our feet in that direction, coming into a forward fold. Once you're in the forward fold, if you have to let go of the floor in order just to come into a soft knee bend, that's okay. You can always put your block here to push down into if you need to. Or the other alternative is you just bend your knees a little bit more. What's most important is that where's your belly? Your belly is far away from your legs. You need to start to lift up your tailbone. Push your belly down. If you've got your tailbone tucked, it's going to be nearly impossible to get yourself flat against your legs. So lift that tailbone. Flatten out your pelvic area. Lift the tailbone up toward the ceiling, and you'll find that you'll start to fold in toward your legs naturally. Relax down, and if you can't touch the floor, but you're just inches away, that's okay. You're just waking up these muscles now, so they'll stretch out. And breathe. Just breathe here. If you like, you can lace your arms together and just dangle a bit. You can rock from side to side, shifting your weight from one foot to the other. Stretch out. We're going to come up in a reverse swan dive. So I'm just going to go through this really slowly as we come up. We're bending our knees, pushing into our feet. So we're really pushing down into the feet. We're going to throw our arms out to the side, flat back. Inhale, lift up your whole torso together. No rolling up the spine, please. Push into the floor. Reach, keep reaching for the ceiling as you come up, until you can touch your fingers or get them fairly close together. And then you're going to bring your hands down into prayer position. Now, if you find now that when you're standing here in this position, you're kind of waving in the breeze from side to side, just separate your feet just a little bit further apart till you feel a lot more stable. This is important. We're coming into a posture that will help support us through the flow. So being stable, being solid is really critical. So lift up your toes, press your feet down into the floor, and make sure you're not feeling like you're waving in the breeze. If you feel like you're waving from side to side in the breeze, or you're going to lose your balance, separate your feet just a tiny bit more. You can stand like this if this is what it takes to get you in a solid position. Most of us are going to be someplace around here because this is where perhaps our hips are located, and we have that force to push down to keep us stable. Other people, I've seen them, they can stand with their feet right together and feel very solid, but I can't. I start to sway in the breeze right away. So find where it works for you. And from here, we're going to come into our flow. So let's push up, inhale up toward the ceiling. Exhale, dropping the right hand down to our side. We're going to side bend over to the right. Inhale, lift that hand back up toward the ceiling. Exhale, Drop the left hand down now. Take a side bend to the left. Inhale back up again. Exhale, little tiny back bend. Just push the hips forward just a bit. Inhale back up. Exhale, swan dive. Now, beautiful swan dive. We're going to put the arms out to the side. Push your tailbone back and up. Let your chest start to come down toward the floor. When you feel like you're at the halfway lift point where you're parallel to the floor, your chest and your head, take your arms and run them forward so that you're reaching forward. Then exhale, slowly fold down toward the floor. Inhale, coming into halfway lift again. So put your hands against your thighs, lift your tailbone, lift your chin. Exhale, fold back down. And we're going to reverse our swan dive now. So coming back up, bend those knees, come up, push into the floor. Nice and solid all the way up. Exhale, coming into prayer. Inhale, push up. Exhale, let's take that side bend to the right, dropping the right hand down, side bending. Inhale, lift the hand back up. Exhale, drop the left hand down. Inhale that hand back up. Exhale into a little back bend. Inhale as you stand up. Exhale, swan dive. Really work that swan dive. And fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, reverse the swan dive. Come back up. Exhale into prayer. And then we're going to stand in mountain pose for a second. Just take a nice, long, slow breaths here and feel your body. So mountain pose, nice and strong. Activate your legs, tighten up your belly. Rotate your palms forward. Bring your shoulder blades back and against each other if you can get them there. Opening up the chest, giving you lots of space to take a deep breath. And close your eyes if you can without falling over. And don't forget to smile. And just breathe here. Let's slowly bring our palms together. Inhale, push up through the center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale as we come back up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive. Fingertips touch the mat. We're going to step our left foot back into warrior one. So we take a big step back and we imagine that there's a line down the middle of our mat, if there isn't already, you have drawn one. And each foot is on the opposite side of that middle line. You step back far enough that you can press your heel into the floor. You're going to feel a nice strong tug there. That's okay, but not so much as painful. Keeping the front knee bent. We're going to push into the floor and lift our chest up, coming upright. Once you're upright, you can readjust your position so that you're just maybe a little wider apart or a little closer together, depending on how you're feeling about your balance. And you're going to stand upright and you're going to look down, glance down, make sure you can see at least half of your foot and all of your toes. You want to make sure your knee and your ankle are in line or close to it with each other so that you are not doing one of these. You don't want this knee lunge position where the knee joint is open. That's a lot of pressure on that knee joint. So make sure you can see your feet. Inhale your arms up, reaching for the ceiling. Press into your back heel. Take an inhale. Exhale. Next inhale, we're going to straighten the front leg. Exhale, forward fold. Bringing our tummy, our chest down toward our leg, holding it as close as we can get. So we're going to come into a twist, and this is where you can use a block. I'm just going to grab a block here. Front leg is nice and straight. We're going to take that block and we're going to place it right by our calf. And depending on you, you might prefer it to be in front or in the back of the calf. I'm going to keep it in the front so you can see what I'm doing. If you don't have a block, you're going to grab either just below your knee or just above your knee for support. Or you can rest your forearm against your thigh muscle. Any of those are fine. What I don't want you doing is reaching for your ankle. And I know probably most of you could do that. The reason why is because it's going to injure your back if you try to twist here. So instead, we're coming more into a better angle for the body. We're going to take our left hand behind our back and we're going to inhale the shoulder up toward the ceiling. And that's all you're focusing on, is bringing the shoulder straight up to the ceiling. If you get stuck coming up, you can't go much further. You maybe only got to here or to here. Then you work on keeping pressure against that to try to keep the rotation going. Inhale, inhale, bringing that shoulder up as far as you can toward the ceiling. Take an inhale, exhale, dropping your shoulder down toward the floor first. Inhale, bring it back up again. Exhale as you drop it down toward the floor. Inhale, bring it back up. Last time. And now, if your shoulders are lined up, if you can look up gently to see the ceiling without cranking your neck to do it, and please listen to what I'm saying, this is really important. If you cannot see the ceiling without twisting your neck unnaturally, don't lift your arm up. But if you can see it, then you can reach for it and press into the block as you reach for the ceiling. If you're just still working on getting that shoulder lift up, that's more important. So keep the pressure going. Drop the shoulder down, coming back to more flat chest to the floor position. Inhale, bend your knee as you come up, coming all the way back up into Warrior One. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands down toward the floor again. Step the back foot forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, come back up. Exhale into prayer. Inhale, push back up again. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, little back bend. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold, fingertips touch the mat. We're stepping back the right foot this time into the Warrior One position. I'm just going to flip around so you can see me this way. Step the right foot back. All the checks are the same. Can I put my heel down? I feel a tug, but not painful tug. And my feet on either side of my middle line down my mat. Inhale, push into your front foot. Keep your knee bent. Come up. Once you're up, can you see your toes? Can you see half of your foot at least? Inhale, reach up for the ceiling, press into the back heel. Breathe, take an inhale, exhale. Inhale, next inhale, you're going to straighten the front leg. Exhale, forward fold. Bringing your chest, your chin down as close as you can get to your leg. Grabbing your block, if you have one, or putting your hand against thigh muscle above the knee or below the knee on the shin. Either one. Bring your right hand behind your back. Inhale your shoulder up toward the ceiling. Exhale, drop it down toward the floor. Inhale, lift it up toward the ceiling again. Exhale, drop it down toward the floor. Last lift, inhale, lifting the shoulder up toward the ceiling. And just like before, if you're just working on getting that shoulder up higher, keep the pressure on now. If you've got a good view of the ceiling, you can reach for it. Press into your block as you reach for the ceiling. You got to feel some tension going right through the body. Exhale. Drop your hand behind your back, drop your shoulder to the floor. Inhale, bend your knee as you come up, back up into warrior one. Exhale, bringing your hands down toward the floor. Step your back foot forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse the swan dive. Come back up. Exhale into prayer. And then into your mountain pose position. Stand for just a moment in mountain pose. Feel your body. Feel what you're feeling. Palms together. Inhale, push up. Exhale, nice long side bend to the right. See if you can take that one a little deeper now. Inhale, lifting back up again. Exhale, nice long side bend to the left this time. See if we can go just a tiny bit deeper. Inhale, back up. Exhale, little back bend. See if you can go a tiny bit further than you did before. Inhale, up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale into halfway lift. Exhale, fold, fingertips touch the mat. We're stepping back the left foot, this time into warrior two. So that imaginary line now, we're guiding both of our heels to land on it. But a big step back, big, big, big. Have a look here. Are my heels pretty much in line with each other, front and back one? Push your front foot into the floor, come up. You can push into your thigh or your block if you need help to get up. And we're going to do our check for our feet. So from the upright position, can I see my toes? Can I see at least half of my foot perhaps? Then that's good. Your knee is in the right place. And my back foot, is my back foot on an angle? So I'm just going to line this block up with my foot. And you can see the block is on an angle. If it was straight with the back of the mat, you would see my foot looking more like that block is looking. But I've got a bit of an angle here. It's not a huge angle. It's just enough to say that my toes are more toward the middle of the mat than my heel is. They're more forward than my heel. The reason for this, we're protecting our L5 vertebrae. We're just keeping the SI joint from overextending itself. So once you're here, see if perhaps you can just slide those feet apart more. If not, don't worry about it. Take your shoulders, turn your shoulders so that they're lined up sideways across your chest here, so that this shoulder is facing that way and this shoulder is facing that way. And then we lift the arms up. Look out over the middle finger. And we're going to reach in both directions. So we're engaging the muscles in our arms. And we're upright. We're not leaning too much forward. We're not pulling backward. We're keeping the pressure equal so that we're right in the center. Watch your front knee. It's going to want to cave in toward the middle. So just keep pushing it towards your baby toe. Breathe. Inhale. As you exhale, drop your back hand down towards your leg. Turn your front palm up. Inhale that hand up toward the ceiling. Have a look at your palm. Take another inhale. As you exhale, drop your forearm down to your leg. You're going to rest it right onto your thigh. Inhale, lift the shoulder up toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, you're going to start to stretch and then start to inhale again. As you reach. Reach. Press into your back heel. Reach across the room. Reaching for the opposite wall. Stretch. If you can let go of this arm to support you, fantastic, but you're going to have to engage your abdominal muscles, so be careful. Breathe here. Inhale very slowly. We're coming back up and we're going right into warrior two. Drop your both hands down, turn your toes in. Open up. You might want to turn your toes more toward the center if that feels good. Hands on the hips. Inhale. Push your tailbone out and up. Exhale as your chest and your head starts to come toward the floor. Reach for the floor or reach for your block if you can't quite make it to the floor. So just like in the standing forward fold, the wide leg forward fold, same thing. Focus on your tailbone and lift your tailbone up in the direction of the ceiling. Hands are touching down on the mat or on your block. We're going to take our left hand, we're going to place it under our face. We're going to take our right hand behind our back, pushing into the floor. We're going to gently lift the shoulder up toward the ceiling. Take an inhale. Exhale as you bring it down and switch hands. Right hand under your face, left hand behind your back. Inhale that shoulder up. Exhale, drop it back down again. Switch again. Inhale the right shoulder up. Exhale it down. Switch one more time. Inhale the left shoulder up. Exhale, drop it back down again. Coming back up from your forward fold, hands on your hips. Inhale, flat back all the way up. Inhale up. And as you exhale, you can start to move your feet closer together, heel toe, until you can step to the top of your mat and stand in mountain pose. And just breathe in mountain pose for a second. Feel your body. Palms together, inhale, push up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Take it as deep as you can now. Keep those feet planted though. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, nice back bend. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhaling, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Exhale into prayer. One more time, let's go through it. Inhale, pushing up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive. Doing an extra one there because I thought we were doing vinyasa for a second. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips touch the mat. This time we step back the right foot into warrior two. Same rules apply. Find that center line, place both heels on it. Push into the floor as you come up. Keep your knee bent. Look at your feet. Back foot on an angle. Front foot, I can see my toes when I'm upright. I don't have to lean forward to find them. Shoulders are turned so that one's facing that wall, one's facing that wall, and I reach out. And then I'm looking toward my middle finger, and I'm really pushing into that back foot. And if I feel that back foot is getting lazy because it's bending a little bit, it tells me I can stretch out more. Breathe here. Take an inhale. On your exhale, drop your back hand down as you rotate your front palm up. And inhale, reach up. Have a look at your palm. Exhale, drop your forearm down, rest it against your leg, lift your shoulder up to the ceiling. Inhale, and as you exhale, push. Reach right over your ear for the other side of the room. Press into your back heel. Keep that leg nice and strong. And if you can let go, but don't do it unless you're really confident you can tighten this up to hold you up. Inhale, nice and slowly. Let's come back into warrior two. Inhale, straighten your front leg, drop your hands, turn your toes in. Hands on your hips. Take a deep inhale. On your exhale, start to drop your chest down toward the floor. Head down. Keep exhaling. Reach for the floor. See if you can widen up a little bit. And if you need to use your block, you're just going to use your block in the same way that the rest of us are using our hands. So if you're using the block, we're going to move the block over to the right when we go to the right side, and we're going to move it to the left when we go to the left side. If you're using the floor, you're just going to start to walk your hands over to the right, bend your right knee, drop your seat down a little deeper, coming into the side lunge. Walk your hands over toward the left, straighten both legs out. Exhale as you bend your left knee. Drop your seat down toward the floor, come back up, inhale. As you exhale, bend your right knee. Side lunging to the right. Inhale as you come back straight again, walking your hands across to the left, exhale. Bend your left knee. And then walk your hands back to center. So once you're in the center place, take a couple of breaths here. See if you can fold in even more. Get your head closer to the floor. We're going to come back up again. So place your hands on your hips, flat back all the way up. And then heel toe till you can get to the top of your mat. And stand in mountain pose for a moment. And just feel what you're feeling. Palms together, inhale, breathe as you inhale up. Exhale, nice deep side bend to the right. We're just going to hold this for another breath here. Just angle down, stretch that top hand, reaching for the other side of the room as you reach for the floor. Slowly inhale as you come up. Exhale as you drop the left hand down. Reach for the floor. Take an extra breath here. Stretch, reach for the other side of the room with the top arm. Inhale, slowly come back up again. Exhale, push your hips forward, coming into a back bend, and just take a few breaths here. As you come up, you're going to start to reach for the ceiling as you inhale. Come back up again. Exhale. Swan dive, super slow. Go in slow motion. Lift your tailbone, let your chest drop down, swoop your arms out to the sides. And when you get to the halfway point, swoop them forward and keep going. Exhaling all the way into the fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, fingertips touch the mat. We're stepping back into a down dog now. So just walk your feet back till you come to down dog. Take a few breaths here. Wag your tail. Drop your knees to the floor. Push back into child pose, this time knees touching. Push back as far as you can, trying to get your bum to touch your heels. If it doesn't happen, don't worry. Stop when you have to. Keep that position as you rest your chest down and then bring your head toward the floor. And if you need to, use your block or your hands. Don't sacrifice lifting your bum up to get your head down. Once you're into the child pose, take 3 deep breaths. Nice and deep and slow. Push into the floor, come upright, into hero pose. And if you can't go into hero pose, just flip right over. And the rest of us are going to follow along. We're going to come in onto our bottom. And we're going to come down onto our back. So you may want to put a cushion there just to help your head so that you don't feel like you're hanging your head back too far. And we're going to come down onto our back nice and slow. Grab a block, bring a block with you. Going down, bring your knees up. And you can roll on your back from side to side or in circles, just getting your body to relax down. Although usually with a flow, you feel quite comfortable when you come down onto the floor. Everything is pretty much stretched out by now. Just let those shoulders relax down. And then drop your feet to the floor. So we're going to grab our block. And we're going to do just a few pelvic exercises. So we're going to take the block and we're going to squeeze it between our knees. Now, if you don't have a block, just press your knees together. The advantage of having the block to do this is that you have just that little bit more space between the knees so you can really press in, getting a lot more stretch in the back of the pelvis. So this particular exercise is for these little joints that are up and down the back of your pelvis area. It separates what's called the sacrum, or the base of the spine, where it's coming down from the big bones that are part of our hips that curl around the pelvic area. And it's just a little tiny joint, and it needs to be kept from getting over squished, because when it gets over squished, it causes a condition that at some point in time you've all had, that they call sciatica. So relax your shoulders down, let your arms come down to the side. Have your toes turned toward each other. Now your heels are far apart because we're squeezing in. So I don't want your feet beside each other trying to squeeze the block. I want your feet separated, at least wider than your hips. And we're going to push into the block just gently, just for a few seconds. So take an inhale. And as you exhale, push into that block. Hold it there. Take another breath if you like while you're there. And then gently relax. Inhale. As you exhale, squeeze with all your might that block again. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then release. Inhale. And as you exhale, squeeze with all your might that block, or squeeze your knees together with all your might. Notice you have to engage your pelvic area, your abdominal muscles, to really get into that squeeze. So everything is working down there to keep the pressure on. And now release. So we're just going to keep the block there, and we're going to focus on our tailbone. So what I'd like you to do is, when you inhale, lift your tailbone up, push your back flat. And when you exhale, push your tailbone down and push your belly out and up and round out your back and back. So in the exhale position, you actually don't feel your back touching in the middle of your spine around here. So let's do it. Let's inhale, lift the tailbone, press your back flat. Exhale, push your tailbone toward the floor, arch your back. Inhale, lift the tailbone, press your back down. Exhale, push your tailbone into the floor and round out your back. Let's do that 2 more times. Follow your breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And come back to neutral spine. Take your block away. Bring your knees up to your chest. Roll on your back now. Side to side. Take a deep inhale. Drop your arms out to the side, and as you exhale, roll right onto the left side of your hip. Let your knees drop toward the floor. Keep your shoulders relaxed down, though, and look at your right hand. And don't worry if the knees don't make it to the floor. They don't make it to the floor together. Just relax into this twist. It is what it is. Just let it be. Take another deep breath. Exhale again through the mouth this time. Inhale those knees back up. And as you exhale, roll right on to the right side of your hip. Let your knees come down. Turn your head toward the left this time. It'll just help keep both shoulders touching down. And just let the knees just relax. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Take another breath here. And then slowly inhale your knees back up toward the chest. You can come into happy baby if that feels good. You can grab your shins, you can grab your big toes, or you can grab for the bottom of your feet and then lift the soles of your feet up toward the ceiling and just rock just for a few seconds back and forth. And then slowly let yourself release down and stretch out for Shavasana. So Shavasana is one of the hardest yoga postures to do because we don't want to relax here. We want to start thinking. We want to start doing. Instead, you need to focus on letting go of everything. So let your shoulders relax. Let your arms roll up so your palms are facing up. Let your feet flop apart. You can even widen them apart if you like, if that helps. Let your muscles in your legs relax. Let your belly relax. Let your breathing relax. Don't even think about breathing anymore. Make sure your head is comfortable and let your face up toward the ceiling and let your shoulders relax back down toward the floor. And let your fingers curl. Take a deep breath in through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, and then let your mind relax. Let it float off to a really beautiful place. You know that place. It's peaceful and calm and quiet there. Maybe it exists. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's from the past. Or maybe it's a place where you just know if you went there, you would feel so relaxed. Just go there and let yourself spend some time thinking about nothing. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, gently waking your body up. Just be gentle with yourself. And if you feel like it, give yourself a nice stretch. Whatever you do, once you're done doing that, just bring your knees up and give yourself a nice big hug. Hug your body and thank your body. We need to be grateful for this body we have. And then gently just roll over to one side, doesn't matter which side, whichever side feels like the right side for you. And spend just a few more breaths here. Just feel how you feel right now and what you feel. And then gently and slowly make your way up to a seated position. And join me in easy pose. Let's close our class today by just chanting one nice, lovely Om. We'll take a breath in and out first, and then we'll inhale for Om. So let's inhale, exhale, inhaling for Om. Om. Let's rub our hands together, generating some beautiful energy. Prana. And as you do this, think of the places inside you where maybe you can feel them niggling at you right now. Maybe it's your back or your hips. Close your eyes, place your palms over your closed eyes, and as you breathe in, open them. Sending that energy straight down to that place. And as you exhale, send energy out to the universe, placing palms to ceilings. And then scoop up just a little bit and take it back to your heart center. Namaste.